Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Atlanta Grill Company. Here we are in the Christmas season, and I've had some specific requests to cook a duck. So I've picked up a duck. We're gonna roast this guy, and hopefully we're gonna come up with something that's just really delicious. So this is a 2-day process. We're gonna start the duck the day before we're gonna cook it, because we're gonna salt and season that bird and let it ride in the refrigerator for a dry brine and drying period for a little bit before we cook it. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do in the prep of our duck is I'm going to make a special yet simple rub to go on this duck. And what I've got here is equal parts of salt and Chinese 5-spice. I've got, for the size duck I have, I've used about 4 teaspoons of each of these, and I just want to give those a mix. And that's what we're going to season the outside of this bird with. I've taken my duck out of the packaging and I have dried it as best I can with dry paper towels. So what I want to do next is we want to pierce the skin, and I'm just going to use one of these corn holders, and we're going to go over all of the skin on this guy, and we're just going to poke holes in it. You don't want to go terribly deep, but you do want to get through the skin into the fat that's underneath here, and you want to do that all over the surface of this bird. And then when you have the back done, you just want to flip it over and do this same thing on the opposite side. This will give the fat that's underneath this skin a path to render. There is a lot of fat in a duck. This is not like a chicken, hardly in any way. All of the meat that we have here on a duck is dark meat. There's no light meat. These are all working muscles. And now that I have that skin pierced, I'm going to take some of our rub and I'm going to start just kind of working that on to the surface. We're going to get the entire surface of this meat covered with this salt and Chinese 5-spice that we mixed up. So after I got this bird rubbed up nicely, I went ahead and put my turbo trusser on there. You can tie this up. I would truss it just like you truss a chicken or a turkey. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and this can go overnight or up to 24 hours or so, and mine's going to be going close to 24 hours before I come back and fire up the grill to cook this. Before I get the duck on, we're going to make a sauce that we're going to use to glaze this duck and to serve with it. And I'm going to start out here with some orange marmalade, and then I've got whiskey, and then we've got maple syrup, I've got lemon juice, I've got a little bit of ground ginger, and a little bit of coarse kosher salt. I'm going to turn my heat on low here. Actually, I'm going to turn it on about medium high to start with. I'm going to stir this together, and I'm going to bring this to a simmer. Just as that starts to come up to a simmer here, I want to stir this, and I kind of want to keep stirring it, not let it sit. You don't want to take a chance on burning this sugar. But now that that's come to a simmer, I'm just going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to take it off the heat. We're going to put the lid on it and just keep that warm until we're ready to go. I've gone ahead and set up the Joetisserie here on my Kamado Joe Classic 3. I've put the firebox divider in, and I've got some charcoal lit. So this is ready, and let's get the duck on the spit. Okay, I've got the duck on the spit. So we're gonna set that guy right in here. I've got that centered up fairly well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the motor, start this guy turning, and I'm going to put a piece of cherry wood down here in the fire. And I'm going to close the dome for the first part of this cook, and I'm going to have the top and the bottom vent on the Classic completely open. And we're going to control the temperature of the fire by how much charcoal we've got burning in there. So I'll add charcoal if I need to warm it up, or I will reduce the amount of charcoal if it's too hot. But with both vents fully open, I would like to have a temperature of somewhere between 300 and 350 degrees in the dome. We've been going about 45 minutes here, and my dome's running right at 300, which is right where I want it to go. So I'm gonna pop this guy open and have a look. That's looking pretty good. And I'm going to drop another piece of cherry wood in here and get just a little extra smoke going. That's probably all the smoke I'm gonna add. I can still see that first piece of cherry that I put in there. It hasn't burned up completely yet. So we're going to get another one in there, and we're going to come back shortly. We got a good bit of fat rendering here, and then we're going to start basting this guy with that glaze that we made. Okay guys, I apologize for the extra noise here, but they're doing the lawn across the street, and there's not much I can do about that. We've been going about an hour here, and this guy's looking really good. I want to stop that rotisserie and baste this guy with a little bit of this orange maple and whiskey glaze that we've made, and let that start to set up on the outside of this bird. And we'll go ahead and spin it around a little further, and we're going to hit it everywhere. And I'm going to come back and do this again in about 10 minutes as we go here, and give this sweet glaze an opportunity to set up on the outside of this duck. And in case I haven't mentioned it yet, I'm targeting to cook this duck up to an internal temperature of about 150, maybe 155, maybe even 160. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Duck can handle that, so we're going to let that guy keep right on spinning. We are about an hour and 20 minutes into this, and this thing's looking really amazing. I've glazed this thing 3 times with that sweet orange maple and whiskey glaze that we made. My internal temperature on the breast is up to about 140, so I'm going to let this go a little longer, and then we'll be back to have a closer look. Okay guys, I believe my duck's ready. I'm up around 150 to 155 in the breast meat there, and we've been going for about an hour and a half. I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to stop that rotisserie. I'm going to take the duck off. I'm going to take it off the spit, and I'm going to let it rest. Okay folks, I've let this duck rest, and I've taken a breast off of it. So I'm going to slice into this breast, cut it into some small slices here, and let you just have a look at this. Man, it looks amazing. Let me get another little piece there out of the end. I don't know how well you can see how juicy that duck is. Man, that's just incredible. And what we're going to do is, I've got my sauce here that we made. We're just going to drizzle it like that, and there you have it. That's some really amazing looking duck here, and I'm just going to take a little piece right out of the center of that. Have a taste. Oh man, that's crazy. That is crazy good. That orange sauce on this duck. Guys, if you've never tried duck, you're gonna have to give this a try. Duck's not hard to make. It's in fact, it's easier than chicken in my opinion. All of the duck, like I said, is all dark meat. You don't have to worry about part of it drying out and part of it not being done or anything. This stuff is crazy good. You can cook this to a range of different temperatures if you like. Some people like to cook duck to around 140, and some people like to cook it up as high as 165 or 170. I kind of like mine in the middle of that, so cook it as you will, guys, and give this a try. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, or if you've tried duck before, tell me how you've done yours. Until next time, this is John Setzler with Atlanta Grill Company.